Okay, as long as everybody can hear me okay, we're going to get started. This is going to be a fairly short meeting. I'm doing it purposefully. Unless you guys have questions, we can extend it obviously for questions, but I'm really trying to hammer home some stuff to you guys, at least in terms of the short-term options trading that I'm doing, especially for beginners, and especially if you are struggling a little bit. So I kind of have stepped it out into 6 steps here, which I'll pull up here in a second, to really make it easier for you guys. You can print this out. I'm going to put the document up in the education and the training video chat, so that'll be available. It's just a little 3-page document here that we're going to run through. It's probably going to be a lot of the stuff that you've heard before, but again, if you're starting out or just struggling, this is the foundation you can start off of to build off of. Yes, we can take bigger profits, as you go, and kind of extend your profits. But if you're struggling, we need to bring you back in and start putting some wins together. So let me just screen share this and we'll get started. All right, Google Chrome, does this look good? I think so. Okay. All right, you guys can hopefully see my my screen okay. Let me minimize. If you guys have any questions, type them up in the chat, if you don't want to forget them. I'll definitely remember at the end to look, but sometimes I kind of get going, and I don't want I want you guys to ask questions. I don't think you guys are asking nearly enough questions. The only way I got to where I am today is by, and this is part of my, I guess, nature or personality, constantly asking questions, finding out information, Googling, researching. If I don't know the answer to something, I need to know the answer to it. So I ask questions. And, so if you have a question, we probably already have the answer, if you're just starting out. If we don't, then guess what? The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go find out what the answer to that question is and give you an accurate answer as best as I can. So again, I'll try and keep it short, sweet, to the point here. And then 2 is going to do a little bit at the end about spreads. And honestly, the spread thing is another thing that I don't think nearly enough people are taking advantage of. And again, it's that unfamiliar, uncharted territory. 2 will likely do a class deeper on this, but he's going to do a little bit of intro and kind of tell you why you should take advantage of something like that. But he'll get into that towards the end here. You gotta get through me first. So okay, number 1, first thing, buy only the alerts. My alert setup is set up in a way to where I don't have to think about if I'm entering a position. I have a formula, most of which I share with you guys, that when I see, I know buy, I know to get in. So now for the high risk, or what used to be the lotto channel, I don't necessarily go off that full formula. I may have some things that I like, but not like the full amount. Now we've actually started tracking that these months, and the results are pretty impressive this month. So we've had 44 of the lotto plays, and we've only taken 8 losses there. Whereas our regular alerts, we've had 21 alerts and we've only taken 3 losses. So you can see, where we're at, 85% with the alerts. We're I'm bad at math, but somewhere between 75 and 80% on the lotto plays. Now, there are also much more of the lotto plays. I don't know if that's going to continue. I don't know if we're going to continue to have 75, 80% with lotto plays. If we can, that'd be great. I'd be fine with that. I just don't know if we're going to be able to consistently keep that up. I think last month we kind of rough tracked it, and we were at about 75% as well for the lotto plays last month. So regardless, if you're struggling, the better chance is to buy the alerts. So think of the short-term options plays as like an A grade alert, and the high risk or the lotto plays as a B grade alert. Does anyone have any questions on that? You guys understand the difference between the two? Cool.
I'm sorry. The lotto alerts, are they the high risk alerts?
Yeah. I just changed the name because honestly, it didn't do it justice. Like, I mean, I don't think something that we're hitting 75%, of our, I don't think that's lottery odds. I think that's pretty damn good odds. So I didn't like the lotto plays. Lotto plays feels like, okay, like I'm just alerting this because I feel like it. And there's more that goes into it than just, I feel like this is gonna, it's basically, I feel like this is gonna happen, but because the chart is like this, but the chart is like this, but we don't have that. So it doesn't qualify it as an alert because it doesn't have this one element. So, I still want to get it out there to you guys because it's still, again, it's still a good alert. It's just not a great alert. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got you. I was just trying to put the two together.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, this is all work in progress, and we're trying to figure out the best way, to do this and get this stuff out to you guys, and kind of at least see things the way that we're putting it out. You know what I mean? So I think this will work for now. We may adjust it as it goes. If it turns out that maybe we're keep hitting 80% on the lotto plays, I don't know, maybe we combine the two and just it just is what it is. But I need a little bit bigger sample size than what are we at, 16 days? So yeah, we'll kind of see how it goes. But for now, I hope that kind of clarifies the difference between the high risk options and the short-term options alerts. And even now, just sitting here thinking about it, I'm like, there's like better, there's got to be like a better way to do this, like a better name, or like, I'm thinking maybe like grade A alerts, grade B alerts, or something that when you see it, you're like, oh, okay, that's the difference. Let me write that down, actually. So did that kind of clarify it somewhat for you guys?
Yeah, it's perfect. That's what I was looking for. Thank you.
Cool. Okay. Second part, take profits at early, 8 to 10% or at your first profit point. After you get some wins under your belt, and this is more, again, if you want to kind of, all right, how's the best way? If you're struggling, you should be taking profits early at the 8 to 10%. And you really shouldn't be waiting for me to alert it, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, you probably have, these options move fast. So I could type up, and I'm a pretty quick typer too, but they move quicker than I can type. You know, I can type, hey, you know, we're at 12%. And by the time I'm done typing it, the option could be at 2%, or it could be at 20%. But, you know, either way, if you're taking profits at that first profit point, you know, it doesn't sound like a lot, does it? Like, oh, 10%, but like it compounds. And something I'm going to do here in the near future, when I can kind of work it in, is I'm going to start an account and just take 10% profits to kind of show you guys, hey, listen, if you're taking 10%, and we're hitting on 85% of these, and you're taking 10%, and then we're taking a 10 or 15 or whatever percent loss, 15% of the time, where are you going to end up? You're going to end up in the green. You're going to end up profitable. Maybe not as profitable as you would like, but again, you can adjust that from a place of profits. When you've blown up your account and you've lost half your money, you can't, it's hard to adjust from that, you know? So that kind of goes into a little bit. Did I put paper trading in here? I think that's, yeah, I think that's a little bit further down. So don't wait for the option run 50%. If you have more than one contract, if you're in 10 contracts, okay, you know what I mean? You can, excuse me, let me take that back. If you are struggling still, I want you to play one contract in real life and just start putting wins together. All right, don't worry about the money now. Just put the wins together for now, and just buy one contract for now at the most. You can play with a little bit more. Let's say you have a $5,000 account. You can paper trade, go on Webull. In your paper trading account, put in $5,000, and then you can kind of play with that. You can play with the alerts, you can play with that, and kind of adjust from there, and kind of practice there. And I'll get into that a little bit deeper, but if you're just starting out, if you're struggling, just put the wins together. You know, we are putting the wins out there for you guys. I think like 90% run at least 8%, and we don't count 8% really as a win, but 85% are hitting 10% at least. So and we're getting pretty good about telling you guys when to get out too as well. So you know, if something's not going the right way, if I don't like something, I'm going to err on the side of caution, because honestly, I'm trying to treat your guys, you know, or I guess like the Moonshot money as my own money, kind of thing. So you know, as you can see today, like we took profits early, like 20% or whatever it was, and they ran a lot more. They ran, you know, like 60% or more, 80%. But normally I'm taking profits somewhere between 10 and 20% on the majority of my contracts. I may keep one or two, let them run a little bit. But as soon as it starts going the other way, I'm trying to get out profitable with that as well. So if you're struggling, just one contract for now. You can play with your paper trading account, and you know, you'll kind of see right there if you treat it like real money. You know, if you're having success there, okay, you know, you can, that'll translate, or that'll usually translate over to the real account, as long as you're treating it like real money. But for now, just one contract if you're struggling or just starting out, till you get the hang of it. You know, you're going to make mistakes when you're new at this. So make your mistakes with one contract. Don't make it with 10 or 20 or however many contracts. So that's the one thing I would say about profits. Base hits, not home runs. You know, if you're all those little 10% wins, 15%, 20% wins, they add up. So that's really all I have to say about that. Anyone have any questions on that?
Hey, Colin, you were talking about the starting the account and just doing the 10% thing. I'm
Yeah.
actually I'm waiting on the transfer of my account from Fidelity to Webull so I can start using Webull. And once I get the hang of how to do the buying and selling and how to use Webull itself, I'm going to be doing exactly that for you already.
Sweet. Yeah,
I've
no,
got like $1,200, I think, open cash to play with. And I figure we would just start there and then do exactly like you just said.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's not going to be sexy at first. My battery's running low. Awesome. It's not going to be sexy at first. You're not going to see these, eye-popping numbers or anything. But I want you guys to kind of get away from that stuff. I want you to focus on slowly building your account and honestly, it's going to build a lot quicker than it would if you if you had it in whatever ETF or something. Hang on one second, guys. I'm just plugging in my computer. So, does anyone else have any questions on that?
Colin, the only problem I'm having is trying to catch up with where you're at. Let's say, you say buy QQQ 360 puts at 125. Well, I may be in SPY looking, and by the time I get to QQQ, it may be a minute later, and it's if you say buy at 150, it may be 170 by the time I try to get into buy, and I don't know where to get in at that point.
Yeah. So just remember, you don't necessarily have to buy every single alert you see too, and the opposite is going to happen of that too. And remember, even when so it's going to go the other way too. It's not always going to be more. It's sometimes going to be less. That's why I'll sometimes put I'm in at whatever, just to kind of show you guys, hey, I alerted this, but it already got down to here. By the time I looked at the app and was able to buy it, it was down to 70 or up to
right.
90.
I'm talking 1 minute after you post it, and it's the price is 15, 20 cents higher, lower. And I'm like, man, I don't know.
Yeah. Think of it this way. If it's higher, so if it's lower, right there, you have your answer, right? You're probably going to go with it. If we're hitting on 85% and it's lower, then the odds are that this is still going to play out, right? You're just getting it at a better price. Now, your question is if it's higher. This is a little bit trickier. So I kind of go by rule of thumb. I'm looking to take profits where 10, 15, 20%, right? If it's already up 10%, 15%, I probably don't want to get in there. That's the way I look at it. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, absolutely it does. But I mean, is there a way to, are you looking at certain stocks, certain days? I mean, is there a way to learn to say, hey, I'm looking at this stock this day, be aware, be here at this time?
Well, as you guys can probably tell, I mainly play SPY and QQQ, right? I mean, probably 90% of my plays are SPY and QQQ. So that right off the bat, and probably those are probably SPY heavy too. So maybe 60%, 70% calls are probably SPY, right? So SPY would probably be a good place to hang out, and that's the S&P 500 index. So that is the quote unquote stock market. So does that answer your question?
It does. Thank you.
Okay, cool. All right, number 3. So
Colin,
again, if
hey,
you,
Colin,
yeah,
I wanted to say
yeah, I'm
something
here.
regarding I also have that problem where I'm always a little bit off and I'm scrambling to find it. One thing, I mean, I can do this after the morning's kind of started. I see where the alerts are starting. You can see where SPY is at, for instance, and then I'll start putting things in my watch list. Just like more like a couple times that I've done that, you know, you've called it one on the watch list because I'll go like a couple strikes above and a couple strikes, bigger strikes below when there's a lot of
Yeah.
interest in it. I mean, I've had some pretty decent, I still sometimes have to go back and go find them. I'm using mobile, especially in the early mornings. That could be a little more complicated when you're just waking up and fiddling with your phone. But I just been using the watch list as much as possible with Webull, and you can put the different ones, the different strike prices on it, and then you can do different watch lists. So it's not just all on your main one. I have one that's called
Right.
Today.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's no, that's another good idea. Was there a question there, or were you just kind of sharing information?
Oh no, I was just telling what I think it was Anthony, like how to like
Gotcha.
where are you watching it at? I go, that's I had that same exact problem because I never knew where to start. So once I
Yeah.
kind of get involved, then I'll kind of see what's a couple above and below, and I'll wait on you guys to tell me where it's going.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Now,
Thank you.
yeah, no, definitely. And another thing, so right now, I'm kind of talking about our short-term options. Our longer-term options, normally, you know, we're gonna look in different areas in the market. Like, you know, Aaron looks at Apple a lot. You know, I look at different areas, Tesla, Amazon. But for like day trading, like we're kind of talking about right here, the short-term trading, because we're really not holding every night, so it is day trading. um so you know, that's going to be SPY and QQQ for the most part, you know, 95% of the time. You know, Aaron will throw a little Apple in there every once in a while, but and then we do expand a little bit. And one of the things that we're actually working towards, you know, with bringing Jen on as well, is exploring some of the sectors. So you have the S&P, the SPY, and NASDAQ, QQQ, and then you have individual sectors as well. You know, and while, you know, you can kind of grasp, you know, the market as a whole with SPY, or technology as a whole with QQQ, there are often certain sectors within those that you know, that you can kind of hone in on a little more. They're not as good for day trading, again, but one of the things I'm looking to get into is a little bit more swing trading options. And then we've done longer term options as well. We just kind of had to revisit that a little bit, because I want to make sure what we're putting out is quality. You know, like that 80-85% plus success rate, you know, it is somewhere that I would like to be. I think that's a good recipe for success, to consistently hit. We weren't quite hitting that consistently with the long-term options. So we kind of revisited a little bit, you know, the way we're starting to sprinkle in a little bit there. But those will normally have to do with longer stops and longer stocks, individual stocks. And, you know, also we've been kind of handcuffed here as well, because I mean, look at the stock market, you know what I mean? Everything's down. So like, yeah, I mean, we can play puts, we can play these little bounces, but I don't feel comfortable alerting, you know, swing trades that you guys are going to hold on for a few weeks. You know, not in this market. So we've done a lot more of that in the past, and that is something we're going to, you know, do more of in the future as well. But, you know, again, we want to set you up for success here, you know, and I think we're doing that fairly well with the way we're doing it right now, especially in this market, you know. Anyone have any more questions on, or want to add to that?
I have a question about setting a limit sell and stop loss. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. Every time, like I'll try and set a stop loss, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes when it gets close to it, I'll cancel it and want to watch it. But I don't know how to to walk away from it. I don't know how to set both at the same time. I feel like I've tried to do that, and it says that I have
on
some
Webull
order already.
On Webull?
Yeah.
Is it during market hours?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is an area I wish I could educate you guys a little bit more on. You know, I'm a little bit spoiled because, you know, obviously all I do, you know, is sit around and trade, so I can watch my trades all the time. So this is something you know, I'm going to try and educate you guys on more as best as I can, but I'm using mental stops, you know what I mean? So, and I'm using mental limit sells too, which I would never suggest you do if you're taking your eyes away from the play. Like I never let my eyes leave the play. You know, that's why I'll say, oh, I think this play can go a little bit more, but I'm going to grab coffee. So because I'm getting out there, you know what I mean? It may run another 50%, but you know, I'm just going to take my profits and kind of go. Have you, I know YouTube has some decent videos on it. Have you been able to find anything on there by chance?
I've tried to search it, but it'll have like more of a stop, like explain what a stop limit is, what a stop sell is. I think I just have to keep playing
going
with it.
Through the process of how to do it.
Yeah, like I've been trying to find like exactly how to set both. I don't know if I'm searching correctly. I do the mental thing. I mean, I usually don't walk away. Sometimes I have to, but I try not to now. And but I think it's not good for me to always do it mentally, because if it's going up, I do get a little greedy. If it's going down, I get extra risky. So
well, you have to have,
if I have that in place already, it'll kind of keep me together.
If you're gonna do it mentally, you have to be disciplined enough to, you know.
No, I can so still,
I completely and some people can't. I mean, some people can't, which is why they have these tools in place. You know what I mean? So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take some time tomorrow, and I'm gonna see if I could find anything that can kind of help you out with that. I have it on my to-do list now. So
hey, Shannon, you're talking about the you're on Webull, you said, right?
Yeah, primarily I'm doing options on Webull, yes.
Yeah, so I think you're trying to do like a one cancels another orders, like, you know, like take a profit here. If it doesn't hit, you know, you also have a stop loss order ready. So, you know, it's going to be one or the other, whichever one goes first, kind of thing.
Stop limit order, I think it's called.
It's a one cancel another order. It's usually OCO.
Okay.
I just recently opened up a Webull account like a couple weeks ago, and I realized that they don't have that. Like they don't have advanced options. And yeah, so I've been looking for that too. So I'm still trying to find around, play with that. If I figure it out, I'll let you know. But
okay, so
otherwise,
it's called OCO.
Yeah, OCO.
Okay, now at least now I know what to search, or now I know what to look for. But
yeah,
now I think I thought a stop limit order, and I think that's probably what you're trying to do, because that will, from what I understand, that will, if it gets to a certain price, it'll trigger a stop, and if it hits a certain you know, profit point, it'll trigger a limit sell, or that's my understanding of it.
It only works for one order. I think I know where you're getting at. So like, let's say you bought the contract for $1, you wanted to sell it for $1.20, so you set your limit to $1.20. So whenever it gets there, they'll sell it at whatever best price it can get to you. But if it happens
Right,
to go,
but you put the stop number in as well. So you could say your limit sell at 120 and a stop at 80, and you enter them at the same time. And if you do it not on market or not during market orders, it won't let you do it. It is an issue that we've run into. So does that ring any bells?
I haven't tried to set that with day trading options, but I've done that with stocks and I haven't had any problems with it. As far as, you know, the win-loss there, it's whatever comes first, it usually sells that.
Right. And you said you haven't tried it with options though?
I haven't tried it with options, but I've done it with stocks.
Okay. But you know what I'm talking about. It's a stop limit order, right? I thought that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. So I mean, that should accomplish what you know, what I'm talking about here. In step 3, set a limit sell and a stop loss. From my understanding, I'm actually going to play around with it a little bit, even though I don't use it, and see if I can help get you guys some answers with that. So I just put that on my list as well. So we'll come back to that, and hopefully I'll have a good answer for you guys tomorrow. Is that good? All righty. Any more questions on that for now? Again, we'll discuss a little bit tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have a little bit more substance for you guys. Okay. Step 4, simple. Don't hold them overnight. It's simple. For these short term options, do not hold them overnight. Unless you want to gamble, you know, and you know, you may come up 100% or you may lose it all. So, but again, we're not here to gamble, you know, we're here to trade. So, that's pretty straightforward, right? I mean, you just, if you are going to hold overnight, you know the risks. Just imagine all of it, all of that money disappears, and if you go into it like that, then you'll be okay. All right, practice makes perfect. Webull and Thinkorswim both have options paper trading. I played with Webull a little bit. I like it better than Thinkorswim. I don't really like the Thinkorswim platform that much. Webull seems to do it for me, but Thinkorswim has it as well. And I don't know about Thinkorswim, but with Webull, you can set how much money you start with. So if you, let's say you have $3,000 in your account, you can mimic that and start it out with $3,000 and then trade it like it's money, like it's a real one. And that'll kind of give you that real world practice without it actually being, you know, real money. With
Thinkorswim, they start you out with 100 grand, and of course you don't have to use all 100 grand. You can use your 3 grand, and you can also reset it at any time. I think Robinhood has paper trading too, but I'm not sure. I don't have that platform, but I think they don't have paper.
They don't let you paper trade options, and I don't think, I don't think they do actually. Yeah, no, that was one of my problems with Thinkorswim. You know, you start something out with 100K, they're going to treat it like monopoly money. You know, they're going to go start buying that. That's what I did. You know what I mean? Now with Webull, you can set your starting rate. So yeah, you set it to whatever you have. Set it to 3,000. Treat it like real money. Treat it like real trades. And not only that, but you'll get better. You'll get faster at you know, at trading, at entering orders, at putting in stocks. Practice makes perfect when with anything. So, and speaking of which, charting. Learn the raw basics, guys. I have a few classes up there. TA is not difficult to learn the basics of. It's super easy. And, honestly, like the hardest part is just getting that fact, that mental block out of your mind. And then once you move past that, you can learn the basics of TA in about a week, honestly. So I know you can't watch charts all day. I mean, that's literally what you pay us to do, right? So, but you should still learn them. You should still follow them. When you have time, you can then apply that. War and Peace. Sorry, I can't put your name to your tag right now, but he was just saying, as soon as he kind of learned the basics of charting, it all kind of clicked to him, so just learn the raw basics. Again, we have a TA channel where I kind of put all this basic stuff together, the raw basics of it. I watch the 1 minute chart, 5 minute chart, and I'll glance at the daily. Once a day, twice a day, just to kind of look at see the trend. And then, of course, as you guys know, my moving averages, I look for crosses on my moving averages, the 9, 20, and 50. That's one of the things I look for. And then the trend is your friend. Shannon, you were talking about it today. When you first came in, SPY was at 4,200. Now it's at 360. Or whatever it's at, 370. I don't know. It's way lower. The trend is your friend. A lot of people kind of try and fight that and say, oh, I think this, or I think this is going to happen, or I think, even I do it. I mean, obviously you can speculate, but which way is the chart going? It's probably going to keep going in that same direction, at least for a little while to secure some profits, and no matter what chart you're talking about. So any questions about charting? This isn't really a charting class. I didn't go deep into it. So, but I absolutely think you guys should learn the basics. And I'm here to help. Ask me anything about it. And, you'll probably start hearing a lot of this. I'll go into more details, if I need to. But, this is the basics of what I look at. Adding a little volume, a little RSI, and a little bit of, I don't know intuition, I guess you can say. And, that's like a little bit, like less than 5% intuition. And that's how I get my alerts. So, anybody have any questions on charting? Feel free to ask me anytime in the chat, guys. So just a final note, if you guys follow these six things, and you can print these out and again, check them off, make sure you're following these 6 things. You're going to find success. Like there's no doubt about it. As long as we keep performing at the level that we're performing and putting out these signals, and you follow this, you will have success. So we're going to keep doing our part to the best of our ability. And you guys do your part, and, we're going to have a lot of good times together. So, again, the last part of this, ask questions and interact with the group as best you can. I know we all got lives going on. We can't always, but if you have a question, just go type it up in the chat and blurt it out and tag me. And then just a little quote here that I've, I kind of heard and kind of take note to. If you surround yourself with 10 successful people, you're going to be the 11th. If you surround yourself with 10 poor people, people that, you know, are bums, you're going to be the 11th bum. So, you know, we have a successful system here, a pretty good, damn good group of traders here who are having success with what we're doing. So surround yourself with us, ask us questions, you know, and interact, speak up. That's really the gist of it. If you do that, if you do those things, I think you guys are going to be highly successful. You know, the ones that are doing this are successful, and you know, eventually you can move past that, those profit points, that 10%, you know, the 8 to 10%. You know, again, I'm putting it there because I want to start seeing you guys get consistent wins. You know, if you keep taking 50% losses, you're not going to be around very long. But if, you know, again, if you can keep putting wins together, your account's going to slowly grow, and then it'll quickly grow. So anybody got any questions overall on that? All right, I'm going to turn it over to Deuce here for a second. He's just going to talk about spreads for a second. Again, highly suggest you guys get on board with this as well. It's a different strategy that you know, is also highly successful. So go ahead, Deuce, take it over.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to share my screen, and I didn't really
Yeah,
add like a
go ahead.
where's the button for that? Just 1 second. Yeah, I didn't really have a you know, presentation ready in mind, like, you know, because I felt like I put it up in the documents. It should be pretty it's not really self-explanatory, but like I try to explain it the best that I could. So if anybody have any questions, just go ahead and throw it out. I'll answer them along the way. But pretty much with credit spreads, it's the same concept as doing covered calls. If anybody has ever done that before, you know, you got you own 100 shares of whatever stock, you want to keep it for the long term, but you also want to keep some get some premium in the for the short term. You sell covered call, hope for it to expire worthless, and you keep that money. Same thing, except for you're using an option, a long strike. So then you would, if you had 100 shares, you would sell a call option and hope to keep that premium. But if you don't have that 100 shares, you just buy a long strike instead. So that's what I do when I alert these credit spreads. The difference in them is that you will always sell a strike that's closer to in the money, so that one would always be worth more. So you're always collecting a credit when you're doing these credit spreads, and you're hoping for them to expire worthless. So they're better for, because I'm assuming the majority of you are working a you know, normal job, 9 to 5 kind of thing. Maybe some of you guys are having second shift, maybe some of you have third shift. This is better if you can't be looking at the phone and like every 5 minutes, every 1 minute, every 30 minutes, whatever your case may be. If you can't be in the short-term kind of thing, you know, this one is better because you can choose an expiration date. So I'm sharing my screen, right? You guys can see this?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah. So let's go with UBixi, for example, because I have one right now. Let's say, so I have a call credit spread on UBixi expiring tomorrow, somewhere around right there. And I have it at, what is it, 18.5, 19, 1 second, let me see what I have. I have the 18.5 and the 19 credit spread open up. Okay. So pretty much I am not expecting UBixi to be above 18.5 come tomorrow. I don't expect it to reach up there. I sold it around here at 10 cents credit, or I think maybe right here for 10 cents credit, and it went up a little bit more. I could have got like 19 cents credit right here, and it dropped all the way down yesterday. Here it was only worth $1 at that point, so that's a 95% profit. It came back up today, it spiked up again, so it became like $5 credit right here, $6 credit. So I didn't close it out. but I'm also not expecting it to go above 18.5. So I'll be collecting full credit on that tomorrow. The name of the what's it called? A bear call spread is exactly how it is. It's a bear because you're wanting the stock to go down. Call because you're selling a call, and then spread is because you have the difference in the strike prices. So also a good thing with this is here too, the stock can go up the whole time that you're holding this these spreads. It can go up all the way to 18.5. But if it does not close above 18.5 at the end of the expiration date, you collect all that premium that you sold it for. So it's a little bit more less nerve wracking, less stressful. If there's the case that it does breaches it, you would lose money. You can close it out, but you can also roll out your contracts up to whatever date you choose. I know with some brokers, they don't have that. Like I said, I just opened up Webull, and they don't have the option for you to roll it out to a further date. You just have to close it out at a loss, and then decide if you want to open up another one later at a later date if you like. With Thinkorswim, it has so much customization with it. You can change it to a different strike if you like. You can change it to whichever date you like, and you can change it from a bear call spread to a bull put spread, and really quick with just Webull doesn't have that option. I wish it does, but otherwise I like the interface on Webull. And then Iron Condor is pretty much the having both of them open up at the same time. You want it to close below 18.5, and you want it to stay above 14.5, something like that. Because in between that, by the end of your expiration date, you collect both premium on both sides of the thing. But yeah, it's much easier. You don't have to watch all day. You do have to be getting used to like looking at negative percentage number, like huge negative percent number, like -300, -400, and that's common. That's really common with this. But the good thing about this is, like, just don't worry, let theta decay in your favor, let it expire to 0. But there are some times where that doesn't happen. That happened to me the other day, and I didn't learn. I was just doing this for my own trade. It was profitable the whole day, but then the last two hours, or the last hour, it started like getting near my strike price. And as it got closer and closer towards it, I was still in the profit because I sold it for really high premium, but I didn't want to close it. I just want to collect the full premium. I just want to see how it goes. And also I'm testing on Webull. I wanted to see when they would auto close it if it does get into the money. So it hit the strike price about 5-10 minutes right before close, and then Webull auto close it. In that last 10 minutes, it went up again. It went out of the money, and if it didn't tap down in that last 10 minutes, I would have collected the full profit. But otherwise, yeah, they closed it at a little bit of a loss. Oh, not a little loss, a little bit of a lower profit than I would have liked. But so you do have to be careful with that, because they will auto liquidate it if it gets in the money an hour before close. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I can discuss about it. If anybody has any questions, or anything they want to talk about, go ahead, bring it up.
Yeah, so real quick too,
Yeah.
I see you put like the risk, like minimum, and it
Maximum
seems
profit,
like
maximum loss.
yeah, and it seems like a huge loss compared to the small profit,
Correct.
right?
Yeah. Also, you're asking like why is that?
Yeah.
The reason why that is because, well, it depends on what you choose. If you choose a strike that is closer to in the money, your maximum profit would be higher than your maximum loss. But because it's closer to in the money, of course, it's going to be worth more. It's going to be, it's going to cost more. But the chance of that closing in the money is pretty high. So you would lose. You have a good chance of losing. The higher maximum profit you have, the more chance of you losing it. The less chance, the lower your maximum profit, the higher chance of you winning on that trade. because you're further out the money. There's like a very, very low chance that it will get there and stay there
Right,
until
right, right. Yeah,
expiration.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you have the max loss
The
too.
max loss. The
Um,
max loss is the difference in the strike. So let's say I bought the 19 strike on the UVXC and I sold the 18.5 strike. The difference in that is 50 cents. Let me do 18 and 19 because it'll be easier. So I sold an 18 and I bought a 19. I'm doing a bear call spread. I wanted to stay below 18. So I sold the 18,
Mhm.
I bought the 19. The difference in the strike is 1. So that is $100 right there because it's 100 shares. Minus the premium that you collected. Let's say that you got 20 cents in premium. That is $20. That's the maximum that you can get, $20. The maximum you can lose is $80 because $100 minus 20 would be
Right.
$80. Your long
Gotcha.
strike is your collateral. It protects you from against your trade. You know, if it goes the wrong way,
Gotcha.
it caps you out on a loss. Because if you
And
ever
then,
sold a naked call before, you know with selling a naked
right,
call, there's unlimited loss. So that's why you
right.
have the long
Yeah, yeah,
strike.
no, no, no. Okay, no, that makes sense.
And you would really not that it will ever get into
Yeah,
it will
I was
go
gonna
into the
ask
negative.
so how often, how often does it actually hit your loss or your or deep losses like that?
Oh, I'm
Because you
sorry.
can
Can you
close it out, right? At any point,
yeah, you can
right?
close it out at any point at a profit or at a loss.
Right, right, right.
Oh
I
yeah,
get it.
that's
Okay.
another thing with that too. You like, this a thing that people do that, that can be potentially bad and you can end up owing money to your broker. Actually, they probably won't let that happen. But because when
No,
you
they won't.
yeah, when you sell these spreads, you're collecting money. So, but they will hold some your money as collateral. So let's say you put
Right,
a
right. That's
thousand
what they do
dollars
with Robinhood. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
you sold 10 spreads on SPY, $1 difference in strikes. So it's 100 each. You sold 10 of them. So that's $1,000 that you put in to hold as collateral. That's what they would use as collateral.
Right,
Let's say they
right,
give you
right, right.
$400 total in return. You'll get that money. You may want to use it right away to buy something else. Let's say you bought a short-term option and you lost all of your money. Now let's say that you still have that 1,000 that you put in for your spreads, but all of a sudden, let's say your spreads is now losing. Now, instead of buying it back at $400 that you got, now you have to buy it back at $600. You already spent your 400 that you got from it. Now you're kind of
Right.
screwed. So you have to be
Gotcha.
very careful with that. You can't just be spending the money until you lock in your profits from your spreads.
Gotcha.
I do it sometimes when I kind of have more confidence in like which way it's gonna go, and I'll sell this short-term option, and then so I know I have the money to cover the spread if I ever need to pay it back. But yeah,
I know Robinhood was, I think it's $50 per spread or something like that. I
what
don't
do
know,
you mean?
maybe it varies, but they've always charged
If
me.
no, it doesn't. It's not a charge. It's the oh, if you're doing an iron condor, they will charge it as let's say you have a $1 spread on a strike spread on a call and a put, so you have an iron condor.
Right.
Instead of them taking $200 in collateral because you have a call and a put spread, they would only take 100 because they know
100, yeah.
that it can only go one way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, right, exactly. Yeah.
Webull doesn't have that option. It's kind of terrible for that. And their
Gotcha. Okay.
Iron Condor like setup for Webull is pretty bad too. But yeah, yeah, it's a profit and loss in that. But yeah, so this you guys have any questions about that? If not, I did have some questions for you guys, I guess. I don't know if we have anybody that's new here or anything like that I want to like maybe go over the charts a little bit and kind of help you out to see when you should take your stop loss and your take profit kind of thing. So I just kind of want to see like if there's anybody new here, I kind of wanted to see what you see so I can also it's kind of like a experiment, I guess. Not experiment, but a what's that word called when you I guess experiment. I'm trying to see what other people think, what other traders think, especially when new people are coming in the market. I want to see how they think experience, compared to someone that's been in the market for a while.
In terms of what? What do you
Like,
want them to look at?
like of what they see, like do they see something, like do they see a pattern, like which way do they think it's gonna go, or anything like that?
With what you're looking at right now?
Yeah, because like I can
I
see something.
gotcha.
This is a naked chart right here. Compared to like a person that's looking at this for the first time, they might like I don't no idea what I'm looking at. I think it might go this way.
I see what
But
you're saying.
I just kind of want to see like what they see, why they see what they think. But if not, although I do guys want to show you this. I want to assume that a lot of you are using if you guys ever do take the time down, like sit down and look at the charts, trading view, I'm assuming is what most of you guys are looking at. You guys do know they do have this short thing right here for a long and short position right here. So let's say if you want to go long on UBIXI right here. Let's say you want to go long, you want to go long, you're buying the stock, you want it to go up. So let's say you bought it right here at it's exactly at $17. You
Oh
should
yeah, I saw this earlier.
yeah, you should set your stop loss usually somewhere within like the lowest swing low. This right here would be too much of it. That's too big of a stop loss. This here should be your stop loss, and you should always have a target in mind. So your first target, which is probably be right here, then your second target right here. You want to zoom out, you can go out to your next target right about here. So
Okay, well,
at, at,
let's
at your first
let's.
target right
Okay.
here, your risk reward ratio is 1-to-1. So this right here is not that bad of a trade. They also have it for the reverse where you want to go short. You want to go. Let me delete this one here. You want to go short, you enter right here. You should put your stop loss up here. So if it breaches past 1750, maybe a little bit more, you have that mental stop loss issue. Everybody has that. I do that sometimes too. When it gets near it, I just want to cancel it because I want to see how it goes. But yeah, but this here is a helpful tool. You're going short, put it at 17, your stop loss 1750, have your target profit ready beforehand in mind. Just take profit, whenever you feel comfortable or when it starts going the other way.
Okay, well, there's your question right there. So, does everyone know why he's putting that target there? Put it back, Stu.
Yeah, which one? No, that one,
The way you just had it.
yeah. This is if I want to go short on the position.
Does every? I know you all don't know this.
No, I'll be the first
But-
to come up. I've been lost for the last 20 minutes, so I'm not. I won't lie.
Okay.
I don't understand pretty
Oh,
much. I don't know if anybody. I may be stuck on stupid. But
sorry.
I-
No problem. Because to me, this is like something that's easy to me, and I don't mean to sound like I'm not sure what the word is called. I'm not trying to like be like demeaning or anything like this. I'm trying to explain it the way I can. And the
This
easiest,
is
the simplest I
exactly
can.
No, I
why.
think
Oh,
This
yeah,
is
go ahead and
exactly
do
why
that.
we're doing
It's
it.
just that I'm new, relatively new.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand any of it.
Okay, so go
Not
ahead.
that you didn't do a great job explaining it. I just, I don't have any experience with it, so I don't.
No problem. This is exactly what this is for. This is what I wanted. Whatever questions you have, go ahead, throw them out. I'm here to help out.
You
Now-
guys, okay, so this learning like the support and resistance and stuff, I really liked when you guys were calling out like what to see, because when I look at the chart, I'm still trying to understand it, and I think I do, and I'm like, okay, so this is a trend that I'm putting up, and then like when I see it play out, I'm like, oh God, I was entirely wrong. So I'm able to kind of figure out by seeing it being done and kind of getting some like validation or confirmation. When you guys were kind of calling out some levels before to kind of watch for, I think I was starting to get it started to make more sense to me at the time to see what to watch for. Because like I said, I could draw lines on a chart and I don't know if I'm drawing them in the right place. So yeah, that I think another thing that started to help me. We don't do that often or all the time, but I did like it when you guys were doing that.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that was something I was doing because I was trying to make it more simple for you guys, because I know that you guys are like mostly at work. I've been doing this for a while, so I could stay at home or wherever I feel like it and do this. So I try to put like these target levels that I'm looking for, and I'm hoping for it to reach. But sometimes like it takes too long to type it up, and also like it moves so fast that my mind can change in between like when I'm typing it up. So what I'm trying to do with the alerts is I haven't been posting up too much alerts in the short term lately. I'm trying to work on that because I know I think Anthony or Warren said that he had the issue with like, oh, should I buy this alert when it's up already, like, you know, $20 difference. So
Mhm.
I'm trying to stay away from that right now. Trying to do something that, you know, that you kind of want to hold, because what I'm assuming from you guys probably want something that from an alert, you know, you guys want something that you're able to buy within like 3 minutes or so after it's been out, hold on to it for maybe about 30
Mhm.
minutes, maybe a few hours or something like that. So I'm
Right.
trying to find those plays. I'm not trying to find those 20% like runs anymore, because I know that sometimes you guys can get in on it when it's already up 10%. And then when we tell you to sell it at like 10, 15%, it's like you might have ended up
You're
at a
taking,
loss.
yeah,
So like
you're buying when we're taking profits.
I'm
Right,
not
right.
I'm
That's what I
trying to
see a lot. You know, I'm taking 12% here. And I'm like, well, Colin, it's only up 3% because I bought, you know,
yeah
8%
yeah
more than you bought.
So I'm trying to work on that issue. So I'm like, you know, I'm alerting only when I feel like it's gonna be a bigger runner than 20% or something like that. There's also something I would like to bring to the Discord in the near future. Eventually we get there, if there's enough like, demand for or something like that, maybe we can do something like, we can do a live kind of this group discussion where I can go up on Discord stream, show up my cameras and just kind of maybe like the first hour or two of the market open, kind of just talk about what levels I'm looking at, what to expect, kind of thing for the day. But I'm not really quite sure um how many people can attend that, how many people would want to do that, because you guys are at work, you can't be watching your phone all day, especially listening to someone talking and stuff like that. I'm also wanting to do stock trading, live day trading stocks. So if you don't want to do options, you don't want to run the risk of losing 100% of your money. That's something I'm going to be looking to forward to do in the future too. So just day trading stocks, if you want to do that. That's going to probably require a lot more capital, because I know cash account is unlimited, but with stocks it's 2 day for them to
2 days.
settle your money.
So you can only use
Um,
half your money.
and then with a margin account, if you don't have 25K, you can only do 3 day trades. So like that's not, I'm not assuming most people have over 25K in an account yet. So I don't, there's something that like it's not really worth doing just yet. But yeah, as for the alerts, that's something I'm trying to do better. So if you want to, Anthony, I don't know if you have a margin account. If you want, you can be following along the data credit spread, because it's pretty much the exact opposite of the short-term options. You see me posted at, this is the credit I received it at. Let's say I receive a credit at 20 cents. You know that if it's anything higher than 20 cents, that's better for you because you're collecting more premium. If it's going down, you can still decide, oh, is it worth getting it now at 15 credit when he got it at 20? Maybe might as well. I might as well get this. It's a little bit better. You have a little bit more time to think about it if you want to get in and on it or not. And you also have an expiration date to know how long you're going to be holding this for. So it's a little bit easier, I think, if you have that
Right.
option.
Yeah,
On average, the spreads, are you holding them overnight? Whereas the short terms, we were told don't hold them overnight.
Oh yeah, no. So this one's a little bit different. I
right.
usually I plan to hold all of my data credit spreads into expiration, because I would prefer to get maximum profit if I could. But the ones I'm taking different trades than the ones I'm alerting. I'm also taking the same trades that I'm alerting. I'm taking more riskier trades in my like personal trades, but I will alert the ones I know will like for sure be a winner. Um, where was I getting at with that? I'm sorry. Oh yeah, I'm looking to hold all these into expiration, but I will take profit. Anything between 30 to 70% is a good goal to reach when you're doing credit spreads. But it also depends on the time frame of your contract, of how long you reach that goal. So let's say if you got a credit spread that's going to expire in a week, you have 5 days until it expires for you to get maximum 100% profit. If you can get 30 to 70% within, I would say, 2 days instead of the 5 days, long-term thing. If you can get 37% in 2 days, that's good right there. You can get, take your profits, go somewhere else, look for another play. If you're
Right.
if you're doing like a 3-day or a 1-day, let's say you're doing a 1-day contract expiry. Let's say tomorrow, let's say examples, Friday, we're gonna open one up tomorrow. And I want it to expire at the end of the day at 100% profit. But if I were able to get 30 to 70% within, I would say like 30 minutes to 3 hours, I'm gonna take that and I will just, maybe I'll lower my strike so I can collect more premium,
Right.
And the
Now,
max
this is
you can
probably
get
the
is
stupidest question
100%, right?
The maximum percent, yeah, the max is 100 because that's a max credit
Right.
that you can receive. Yes.
So the stupidest question of the night. I haven't done a credit spread yet on
Okay.
Webull. I'm on Webull and
Okay.
on Robinhood, but I mainly trade on Webull. But what is the process? Is it, I know options, I know stocks, but credit spread, is that an option under options?
Yeah. So you're on your phone, huh?
Well, first off, before we go too deep, you need a margin account to do this, right?
Yeah, that's correct. You need a margin account.
Okay,
in order
so
to do
most of you, in most situations, you're probably gonna do this in another account. Because you're most likely in a Webull cash account to take advantage of the day trades. So you can do both. You just can't, it needs to be, you need to have a cash account and a
Yeah,
margin account.
I know with
In order
Fidelity.
so it's just something to keep in mind.
Yeah. I know with Fidelity, because I also have a Fidelity broker also, that you can switch your orders between if you want to use a margin or a cash. So that's a good thing about them. You can just switch to like to whichever one you like depending on your order. So that's a nice thing
Yeah.
about them if you want to check that out. But can you see this Webull detach here I put up on the screen? I'm not sure if it shows that or not.
Yes, I do.
Okay, yeah. So on your phone, it should be the same thing, but I think it might show it at the bottom. Right here where it shows single, you can click on it and then it shows you the different types. Right here, we want to go to vertical. There's also the Iron Condor, but Iron Condor really sucks on Webull. Just do 2 separate verticals instead of one. I guess that's a little bit more advanced. But yeah, just go to change where it says single option, change it to vertical, and then it'll have it right here, 359, 360. So
Okay.
this one, yeah,
Perfect. Thank you.
no problem.
And we're also, so this is kind of just an introduction here to kind of get you guys just your kind of feet wet and just kind of start to wrap your mind around how to do this stuff. I'm almost positive, and I'm sure if there's the demand, two will do a class on this, and kind of take things a little bit deeper. So you're not, so you're not taking this all in at once and just kind of just, lost a little bit. This is kind of the first bite, if you will. So we're going to go a little bit deeper as well. We just kind of wanted to touch, kind of get your feet wet type thing. If you have any questions, you kind of ask. But we will be doing a class on this as well in the near future. So. Does anyone have any other questions too? Do you have anything else you wanna add?
No, I think that's it right now. I brought up a few things I wanted to mention, but
Yeah, no, I think that's a good I think that's a good first dose for tonight. Oh, the one last thing. So the support and resistance, because you guys should know this by now. And some of you don't. So do you know why does anyone not know why he put the levels where they are or about where they are? This is you're probably confused them a little bit. It's a short position. Can you make it a bullish position to make it a little bit easier? You know what I'm saying?
yeah, 1 second. Change this to the.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep, that right there would be what I would want to set it at. I would probably realistically set it more right here.
Yeah, that looks probably better. Okay. Does anyone not understand why? And please speak up. Just say, I guess we're going to end up explaining anyway, but Yeah,
You want me to do
I
it,
just
or-
kind of want to see if this is something that you guys are understanding or that you're still kind of lost on. I have a feeling that you guys are still probably a little bit lost on this. So I kind of want to just, take a second to kind of explain. Do you mind doing that?
Yeah, sure. Well, I started right here because I'm putting a stop loss pretty much at the swing lows, pretty much where buying pressure starts picking up, like once it reaches the bottom point, and then buyer starts picking, the stock starts moving back up. Every time I see like where it happens a lot, like here it happened right here, it kind of happened right here. This one here is reverse. This here is where it's resistance. So it hit up here, it reached 1645, and it kept on dropping down. So it's an important level. But that's the most recent one. So right here, it extends all the way right there. I'm looking at up here. I'm going up a little bit higher than I would like, but I would take my first profit target at right here. The highs of the most recent high, kind of the second most recent high, third most recent high. And
I'm sorry, guys.
something like
I have a
that.
quick question.
Yeah.
I hear a lot about resistance. How do you know a resistance point?
A resistance point. Okay. Yeah, no problem.
He's kind of
So
telling you right now.
yeah, so a resistance point is when you can see the candlestick starts losing its momentum. So resistance is the top level part where it starts dropping down. So Anthony, can you tell me where do you think a resistance point is at, from this chart? Where do you think it would be at?
It's hard to see on my phone.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well,
But it looks like it's on its way down now. Well, I can't remember.
Look towards the middle of the chart, or
no, that's fine. Oh, I would put a resistance right here at.
well, there's a few, yeah.
So let me change the look of this because this does not look. There we go. So right here at around 1950, every time it reached that point, it sold off. So here at this point, May 2nd, it reached 1950, it immediately sold off. It tried to retest it up again. It reached it once right here, dropped off down. Try to reach it again the next day, drop back off. So this right here is a very, very key resistance level because it has not been breached in the past. So what is this? A month and a half, 2 months, 3 months now. So it's been about 3 months since it's been up there. So yeah, it looks like it is in a slight downtrend.
So it's a fluid point. So
It's not an exact point, no.
Yeah, and
It-
you also,
it's-
yeah, like you see, it is in a current downtrend, which is why I alerted puts on Ubixi in the data spread alerts. I alerted puts right around here. I'm thinking about alerting puts right here, but I'm not quite sure yet because it does look like it is retesting it. So I would, kind of watch this right
Wait.
here.
Yeah.
If it break this right here, it probably bounce up to right here, drop off back down, and then maybe it might retest it up here depending on how things go in the next few days. Or it can just start dropping off right here right now. So this
is that what they mean by if it breaks? Let's just general numbers. If it breaks, the high was 21, but if it breaks 19, it could go to 21 again. If it hasn't been to
it has that. Yeah, it has that possibility. So let's say, if it breaks 19, it's going to be somewhere around right here. It has the chance to go around 21 right. Is it how you do it? Is it Alt H? There you go, Alt H. Yeah. So
But it will likely see some resistance there first.
Once it gets up here, there's going to be a lot of people selling the stock because they want to get out of it, or whatever the case may be.
So what's the time frame that you use for that resistance? 1 month, 6 months?
Oh well, right now, I guess for beginners, what you would want to start out on, the daily chart. This is the daily chart right here, and you can kind of see those clear resistance right here. One at 1950.
Yeah.
And then another one here at 21, maybe a little bit higher. It's a little, just a little bit above 21.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then support is the exact opposite of it. It's just below the current price. So do you see where
Basically
support
right
would
there.
be at? There would be one right here. and one right there. And it's
So
kind of
once it reaches the support, is that when we trigger a buy?
not necessarily. You would have to see how it holds at that level. So right now it is kind of in a descending triangle. If you can see this right here, this blue line, and then with this, well, if I put another line right here, imagine this was blue. It'd be easier to see, I think. You kind of see this triangle right here. So I would kind of expect this, if it doesn't breach, the resistance level here, if it doesn't break out and hold, I would expect it to drop down here, maybe bounce in between this a little bit, and ultimately just go lower. Kind of once it gets near a a small, a tighter and tighter spot, like a consolidation part, that's usually when a huge breakout will occur. But
Yeah.
as for right now, there could be there's another downtrend line right here that I would usually draw. It can go. Let me delete this here. There. So yeah, it can even go below that. Stuff like that. You just kind of got to see where these levels are at and see how the candles are reacting to it on the smaller time frame once it gets to that point. This here would be the 1 minute time frame right here.
That means
So
each one of these candles is 1 minute.
yeah, so pretty much you start
1
out on a
minute chart.
higher time frame. You start
So
out
I'm sorry, stupid question.
no
Candles
problem.
are peaks?
Candles are what? I'm sorry.
Peaks?
No, candles are these right here. This here, every one of these like candles that just here, this here, it would be one
It's a
candlestick.
candlestick.
This here is another candlestick, another candlestick.
Okay, I'm sorry.
They all,
Thank you.
yeah, no, they all have different names for their like their shapes and stuff like that.
And the little tails are called wicks or tails.
Yeah, so the big part of the candlesticks would be the body, and then the the long one would be the wicks. Open, high, low, close. I don't think I need to explain that. If you do need me to explain that, I can go ahead and do that. But otherwise,
No, I get that.
okay, all right.
I'm not completely in that, but I'm just
Yeah,
partially
yeah.
stupid.
I didn't want to assume like what your level is at this, but yeah. So like I'll draw another downtrend here, and then I would kind of expect it if it does continue to go down. I would look for maybe buying pressure,
Learn how to buy stock.
here. But yeah. Start out on the higher time frame, the daily, even the weeklies too, depending on like how long you want to be in a play for, or you want to get a bigger picture of the overall movement. Weekly and the monthly is good to look at, but start on a daily, work your way down to the 4 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes, whatever you prefer, but start high and then go to a small time frame.
And get in there and practice. Open a TradingView account. I do suggest you pay for at least the basic one, but you don't have to. I don't think you have to. Or in Webull, you can get in and draw lines as well. Webull has pretty decent charts as well. Get in there, practice drawing lines. They don't have to be perfect, but look at all the points where you see the stocks bouncing at the bottom. See where he's got that bottom blue line? Boom, draw a line going across. See where he has these top yellow lines? Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can go ahead, screenshot it to me, send it over to me. I'll critique it. I'll kind of tell you, hey, you're on the right direction with this. Hey, maybe do this. But getting in there and doing it and practicing is really the only way you're going to learn how to do it, and really grasp it, and that light bulb's going to go on. So I highly suggest you guys get in there and draw support and resistance. Send me screenshots. I'll be waiting.
Hey, Colin, I'm not sure what level of you have for the TradingView account. But do you have the replay option up here? The replay?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that was something that was like offered to only to the higher tier or something. Okay.
I have the mid tier. I don't know. There are
Okay. Yeah, I
3
don't know.
tiers, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if they have it for the free trial or the free membership one. I'm not sure if anybody has the answer
Yeah,
to that.
probably not. The free is
Okay.
like the bare. You may or may not even be able to draw support and resistance with or trend lines with the
Oh, I'm pretty sure no, you can
with
do
the
that for the
basic
free.
account.
You can do that on the basic account for sure.
You can?
John.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Somebody told me you couldn't, so I was kind of like, what?
no, you
Really?
just can't have
I don't
more
know
than
about all
3
that.
indicators.
Okay, yeah, no, 3 indicators. That's, I
Yeah.
mean, that's okay. At least you can draw support and resistance. So they just didn't know what they were doing, which is fine, you know, but that's good to know. So at least get the basic one or Weeble, but you know, kind of put the excuses to the side and just start drawing them and send me screenshots, and we'll take it from there. So anybody else got any questions? We ran a little bit late, but I think we had a really quality meeting, and I think you guys learned a lot, so I'm happy with it. Does anyone have any more questions before we go? Again, we're going to go deeper into the spreads a little bit later. You can ask questions, obviously, you know, and Discord. But if you have any questions now before we shut it down, now's the time.
I do not, but I just want to thank Colin and two. You guys were great tonight. Thank you, sirs.
Yeah,
of
thanks for
course.
joining us. We appreciate it. So, all right, guys. Well, I appreciate everyone taking the time. Whether you watch this live or you know, afterwards, and we'll do this again in the near future. Thanks for joining, guys. Have a good night.
All right, later, guys. Hey, Colin.